and ponies. The new Congress was sworn in last Thursday, and Democrats wasted no time in introducing a bunch of bills for show. They immediately called for the president's impeachment again. Why? They don't like him. Read the Constitution. It's not grounds for impeachment. They also introduced spending bills to fund abortions overseas on behalf of the United Nations and introduced a constitutional amendment to abolish the Electoral College. That's how we choose a president. Now, why would they do that? Well, it's because they lost elections in 2000 and 2016 in which their candidates, Al Gore and Hillary Clinton, received more overall votes, but lost the Electoral College and thus lost the election. Representative Steve Cohen of Tennessee says this isn't fair, and so we need to abolish the Electoral College and elect presidents by popular vote. Again, read the Constitution. The framers of the Constitution did this on purpose. This is not a bug, it's a feature. Looking at the map behind me, those counties marked in blue contain literally half the population of the United States. Those little blue areas, half the people in the U.S. live in those little blue areas. If we went to a direct vote for president, those little blue areas, basically Southern California, South Florida, and the New York to Baltimore coast on the Atlantic, would dictate who gets to be president every 4 years. And the rest of us out here in flyover country would have no say whatsoever. But if that wasn't enough, by the way, this is a map of who won which counties in 2016. That vast area of red in the middle, Donald Trump. I mean, looking at that, you would assume it was a landslide. But based on where people actually live, Hillary Clinton got more votes. But again, the framers of the Constitution did this on purpose so that rural areas would not have their lives completely controlled by people who live in cities and have no idea how people in rural areas live. I can speak to this from personal experience. Grew up in Chicago, took until I was 50, until I began to understand why people, say, in downstate Illinois, not really happy with Chicago, which is where I grew up. Anyway, if we went to a direct electoral system, where popular vote determined the president, candidates for president would spend all of their time campaigning in LA, San Francisco, San Diego, Chicago, New York, Philly, Baltimore, and Miami. And the rest of us, well, who cares? Because our vote really wouldn't matter. Meanwhile, a professor at the prestigious Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania has floated an idea published in The Atlantic of reallocating the Senate based on population. In other words, Democrats are also upset that rural states like North Dakota, Wyoming, South Dakota, Idaho have as many senators each as states like Florida, New York, and California. In other words, it's not fair that North Dakota gets 2 senators while California only gets 2 senators. He's suggesting that we take the population of the country, divide by 100, and then allocate senators accordingly, which means some states would wind up with 1 senator when California would get 12. I say again, the framers of the Constitution did this on purpose because it's a feature, not a bug. It's to balance out the needs of urban areas and rural areas here in the United States. Topic number 3.